Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. LeBron James is M.I.A. Nobody can find LeBron James. LeBron James, where are you? LeBron James, where art thou? Where art thou, LeBron James? I can't do it, man. Whoo, not M.I.A. We ain't talking about Miami. We talking about LeBron. Where LeBron James at, man? Maybe where LeBron James at? So we're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about the NBA ratings have hit rock bottom. Nobody has been watching not only the NBA, but the in-season tournament has pooped its pants. And these good teams losing, like Golden State in New York, to lower tier teams haven't helped, folks. Okay, so everybody's running around going crazy about, the NBA ratings this season. And folks, I'm right here with you. I've been here the whole time. I've been telling you that the NBA isn't a real actual sports league, and it hasn't been since LeBron went to Miami. Okay, and I've heard rumblings about that, and I've been saying that for a long time, but don't give me credit. But soon they're going to have to explain how these guys have been making record-breaking contracts, right? In a league that nobody watches. Let me give it to you again. In an era that nobody watches, especially the 2020s. The 2020s it's been bad. It's an embarrassment to the NBA history. Nobody's been watching this in the 2020s, folks. Nobody. Now, you already know my spiel. I don't believe these guys make this kind of money. They've been telling you this so they can keep the prices up on merch, popcorn, alcohol, beer, parking, everything. They tell you that the media is, whatever you want to call it, these TV stations are buying this product to put on their TV for billions of dollars a year that nobody is watching this, folks. What? Are these networks dumping debt? Really? Are they dumping debt? Maybe they might be doing that. That's what some companies do when they buy other companies. Say if a company's in debt, right? They'll buy another company. The bank is dumb enough to give them another loan when they're already millions in debt, if not hundreds of millions. But the bank will still give them a loan to buy another company that's failing, right? And they'll buy that company that's failing, and they'll use that company to dump their debt into. It's complicated, but it's not complicated. We just don't have time to think about it. I mean, not think to talk about it like that. Have you ever seen that show? Well, they have a lot of channels out there. If you see that channel Company Man, he be talking about all these companies, the rise and fall of this company, the rise and fall of that company, and that's what they do. But anyways, they dump their debt, but somebody's gonna have to figure out sooner or later how are these guys were getting paid all this money. I'm not going to say it wasn't making a profit. Of course, the NBA making millions of dollars. But what we're talking about, how are they making record-breaking contracts and nobody's watching it? Now, do I believe these guys make millions? Sure. But the money that we've been told that they made, no way. No way in this world. There's nothing. First of all, there's nothing to warrant that. There's nothing to warrant what Jaylen Brown got paid. What was that, last offseason? A record-breaking contract? For they hadn't even won a championship. He wasn't top 10 in the league. Hell, he wasn't even the leader of his team. Right? That'd be like Scottie Pippen, who really wasn't a top 10 player in the league in the 90s. When you talk about Barkley, Malone, David Robinson, Hakeem, Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler, guys like that. I don't even think he was better than Reggie. Reggie Miller led a team. Scottie Pippen never led a team. Shaq, in the 90s. So anyways, that's like Scottie Pippen getting the highest paid contract in the 90s. It would be insane. Nobody would believe such. You can tell anybody anything these days because you have the media now, the ESPN media and the Fox Sports media will tell you, for one, man, don't be counting that money, man. I'm glad Jaylen Brown got that money. For two, they ain't gonna tell you that it's bullish or that I don't believe it. I don't believe he got that money. I don't believe these guys make this money. They have to podcast to make money. These guys make, you can go back to the early 2000s. And some of them, even in the 90s, $100 million contracts. Some of them made $100 million, $200 million, $300 million in a career. Folks, when they retire, they have to go back to work. We should be laughing. But, folks, have you ever just sick of the headache, sick of work? You're not, you really don't make no money for how much the company makes. And that's why when people say dumb stuff like, oh man, these guys deserve this, man. Look how much the owners make. Are you kidding me? The owners are businessmen. These guys are billionaires. These guys own the company. So when they say, look at how much the owners make for them playing a child's game, well, contrast that to how much does your owner make? And do you work for $1 billion company or a company that makes millions and millions? Are you making anything close to what they make? No. You can't get no guaranteed contract. 99% of the people out here cannot get no guaranteed contract where they work at. It's ridiculous. These guys ain't worth this. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care what nobody says, these guys ain't worth this money. A children's game, a kid's game. They ain't worth the money. Especially these players today. Are you kidding me? These aren't even real men. I see WNBA players built better than these guys today. Look at these guys. These guys today are built like, what, 80s and 90s high school players will be built? Come on, man. They don't compete. They don't play defense. They only can play one style of basketball. They all run the same sets. They load manage. And you're trying to tell me you're trying to tell me LeBron James made $1 billion off of losing, folks. This guy made $1 billion off of losing. Not only losing, not even seeing a game 7 in all 6 finals losses. Didn't even see a game 7. Played in the weakest defensive era from about in the past 10 years, since 15. Can't shoot the mid-range, can't shoot the 3, can't shoot free throws, and can't give you no paint work. Ain't competitive, so he can't lead a team, so he goes build super teams. Flops, cries, walks out early, low manages, and this guy made $1 billion off of this? Ah! Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. $1 billion off of this, folks. Wow. And you want us to be concerned about where LeBron James is? He's right where he needs to be, off the damn court. This guy ruined the NBA. Where else would he be? And now we're supposed to cry about where he's at? Folks, the NBA was over when LeBron went to Miami. You don't remember the decision? This guy didn't only choke and quit on his team. He went and built a super team and then announced it on national TV on ESPN. And he says, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. What talents? You can't shoot. You can't shoot free throws. You can't shoot the mid-range. You can't shoot threes. You ain't got no paint work. So you start from the three-point line and bull charge your way in there because they cut out defense in 2005. So you could make the playoffs finally. So what talents were you taking? No, you were going to play with somebody else's talents in South Beach. That's it. That's it, folks. Okay, that's it. Ain't no two ways about it. That's what the guy was doing. And when he said, I'm taking my talents to South Beach, what happened? What did you hear? Oh! What you hear from the kids in the background? They said, oh! Because they couldn't believe it. One of the faces of the league back then, the so-called next king, or the king, whatever, in the so-called next greatest up behind Kobe Bryant, was actually cheating to win. And that's why all the children said, when he said, I'm taking my talents to South Beach, you could hear in the background, the children said, oh! They couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it that any superstar would stoop that low to do such a thing. Right? After having the number one seed 2 years in a row, in those 2 years, he had number one seed in the entire NBA. Top 5 in offense rating, top 5 in defensive rating, his teams were. But it was him who melted down in those games. Didn't come through. The guy that won back-to-back MVPs was supposed to meet Kobe in the finals. But we all know now that he did not want to play Kobe. Because if he played Kobe, it would be over. There would be no GOAT debate for him, even though we know that there's no GOAT debate for him. Right? We all know that. What Kobe did was pretty much, he destroyed LeBron's legacy. All LeBron could do now is basically, with the help of the NBA, pay off the media. And listen, when it all goes down, Mr. Media, we don't want you backtracking. No Stephen A. Smiths, no Chris Broussards, no none of you dummies, even Big Dummy Perk, Nick Wright. We don't want to hear nothing when the allegations come out. Don't backpedal. They've been out there for a while. So what Kobe did, Kobe didn't go back to back just on LeBron's teams and beat them coming out of the West, right? With no top 75 teammate, with no super team. He also did it without Shaq, while going to the finals 3 times in a row without Shaq. So what back-to-back championships did Shaq win without Kobe? I'm just curious. I mean, maybe I don't know NBA history. None. And Shaq won that 4th title, not even leading the team. He needed Dwayne Wade. So Shaq actually never won a championship as a leader, right? Never. Did Kobe? Yes. Back to back with no top 75 teammate, no super team, and went to 3 straight finals while beating LeBron's teams that beat him, and LeBron was the number 1 seed. And Kobe brought home gold in 2008. So if you see that the sequence, 2008, Kobe goes to the finals. Yes, he loses, but he wins gold that summer. The next year, goes back to the finals and wins this time. Was supposed to meet up with LeBron James that didn't show up because he was scared. Yeah, folks, Kobe was going to destroy this guy. Not because Kobe didn't like him. They were good friends. It's because the way the media treated Kobe. And although LeBron was winning back-to-back MVPs in 2009, 2010, all through the 2000s, well, I would say around 2008 to 2010, LeBron said in many interviews that Kobe was the best player in the NBA. And why? Because LeBron said because of Kobe's talents. He didn't just say shooting. He said because of his talents. He was talking overall. Leadership, offense, defense. This is what he was talking about, folks. Um, yeah. So when that was it. And also, you got to remember, the last of the Mohicans. Not only Kobe, Dirk Nowitzki sopped that up with a biscuit on LeBron James, and then Duncan sopped it up like a biscuit, or with a biscuit, or like a bit, whatever you want to call it. Sopped it up with a biscuit on LeBron James in his super team. So that was it. That was it. That was it for LeBron James in his era. So all they could do now is basically tell lies. The media be paid off and lie. And this is the problem with the NBA. They basically chased off all the real fans. You can't just have young fans. And that's because they have made the NBA into what? Well, they made the NBA into stats. So while the LeBron media was busy chasing away the real NBA fans, when I say real NBA fans, I'm talking about the guys that they call old heads that actually watch guys play positional basketball. So when we talk about positional basketball, you have to have a skill at every position. Shooting guard, point guard, small forward, power forward, and center. That's what we call skills. Not just dribbling the ball and carrying and traveling. They call that skills. And only being able to shoot one way, a three. This is what they call skills. And basically stat padding. That's what this era calls skills. That ain't what we call skills. Skills is you have to possess a certain skill at every position. At every different position. So yeah, they said, okay, let's chase away the real fan base by talking ish and saying past players weren't great and the guys we watch were trash. So therefore, now we're not going to watch games like that. So now we're putting it on you, the younger viewers that want to talk trash in our face about we were watching trash back in the 80s and 90s and 70s and the 60s. Well, here you go. You're watching it by yourself. The only thing is you're not watching it because you're waking up and you're looking at stats because that's what they told you it's about. Stats only, right? Who cares about watching the games? So now the NBA declines in ratings. Right? That's just one part of it, I'm telling you. Because you only got one type of people only watching it, and they're not watching it. Because you done chased away the older viewers. Because we don't want to watch the trash anyway on top of that, because it's not real basketball. Then, like I told you, the NBA became a joke, and it was over, and pretty much a, what do you want to call it? I can't think of the word right now. But it became somewhat like a reality TV show, right? In a fake sports league. Everybody could see through it. And the competition was real weak. So that was another thing is LeBron chased away a lot of fans. You don't have rivalries no more. They only want to focus on a couple players. It's not what it used to. And then let's talk about the demographic. You don't have the demographic like you used to. I would say now United States is very close to being half foundational American. And when I say foundational American, I'm talking about the people that's been here for a long time, man. You know what I'm talking about. You can trace your people back to at least the 1800s, 17, 16. Them is foundational Americans, right? Maybe early 1900s. But this country now, let's be real, I would say it's half now. Half foundational, half immigrant, right? And the problem with that is these immigrants, they grow up watching our sports. So they're not really into it like that. And we're not even convincing them to be into it like that because the way we play sports now is boring. And we have all these international players over here that done took over a lot of the NBA. And I can tell you what, just like the MLB, the biggest problem was they decided to kick all the black players out that were great. And you got rid of them for what? You got rid of the Ricky Hendersons and the Kirby Pucketts and the Dave Winfields and the Darryl Strawberries and the Bo Jacksons and the Deion Sanders and the Ken Griffey Juniors and the Dave Justices and the... Are you crazy? For some people who don't speak English? No offense. But this is why baseball can't sell the product. And like I tell you, I don't have nothing against the Spanish players, because if they were smart, they would have kept the Spanish players and more of the black players, and you would have had a super league, you idiots. You got to remember, white people had an 80-year head start in the MLB, and black players still own half the records. They didn't want black players because they was black. No, they wanted them because they was more exciting. They're hitting. They're running. Am I saying black players dominated MLB once they came in? No, it was like half and half. White players and black players were good together. And then Spanish players started coming in. They were great too. But you put out the majority of the black players? For what? To have a dying league? The World Series just ended. If in the 80s, the 90s, and maybe in the 2000s, you said the Dodgers and the Yankees, the Yankees, did I say that? The Yankees and the Dodgers, if you said they were in the World Series in the 80s and 90s and maybe the 2000s, that would have put the election on the back burner. Nobody would not have been talking about this past election. Nobody gives a damn about the MLB anymore. It's not American. And now, the NBA is basically not American no more either, right? For better or worse, LeBron James is keeping this thing afloat. And it's for worse. But it's drama, right? That's the thing with the MLB. You gotta have a soap opera and some drama in your league. Nobody just don't want to see people hit the ball, catch the ball, throw the ball, kick the ball, whatever. That's great. We want to see that, but we also, it has to be a soap opera, or nobody cares. Look at the NHL. Nobody cares. Yes, they got their core fans, but after that, nobody cares. There's no soap opera. So the Spanish guys that they went for, not because they're better players, is because they can screw them out of money in the farm leagues before they bring them up, right? American, you would have to pay them what? To be in the farm teams in the United States, AAA, AA, maybe $1 million, $2 million. Well, in a Caribbean farm team, you only pay them like $50,000, $25,000. So these Spanish players in the MLB, they're not able to sell the game. On shoe commercials, McDonald's commercials, advertising, they don't speak English. You literally got to have translators in MLB so coaches can talk to players. How ridiculous is that? They're not getting these players because they're better players. They're not putting illegal immigrants in the damn factories or building houses because they're better builders or better workers. No! They're cheaper, folks. So this is why MLB is dead. Torrey Hunter said this a long time ago. And they try to kick him out of baseball. Because what they try to do is they try to keep a little bit of the white players so it won't look so racist. And they try to tell you stupid stuff. Even Mike Wilbon. This is a baseball expert. This is a sports expert. They try to tell you the most ludicrous thing in the world. What they tell you? Well, black players just aren't gravitating towards baseball no more. What? Black people were naturals at baseball. Folks, I play baseball. And I watched baseball growing up. That's why when I just said all those names of these black players, and I could say more, I watched this. Black players were gifted in naturals and badass at baseball. But now they're trying to tell you, well, they're just not gravitating towards baseball no more. They want to play football and basketball. So you're trying to tell me on offense, you sit on your butt, right? You sit down on offense. Go chill. On defense, you stand around. So you're trying to tell me the easiest damn sport physically that black people said, no, we don't want to make tens of millions doing this no more. It's too easy. We want to go play football and get our heads knocked off. And guess what? You better pay attention. You didn't see that NFL Africa that they was promoting in the Super Bowl? Yes, folks. They want cheap labor. And if you look around, it's already a lot of African players in the league. Already a lot of West Indian players in the league. Before you know it, in 5 to 10 years, it's over for black people. It's already over in baseball. They put them out of basketball, and they're going to put them out of football too. Black Americans, they don't really have nowhere to go. Ain't it funny? Like, they don't have no money for certain people to get a house. They don't. I'm just saying, for a long time, it was like, you couldn't get a house, couldn't get a good job, but you had people just coming in here from other countries who can't even speak English or barely can speak English, chopped up English, didn't go to one day of school here, but they arrive and get good jobs. They get houses. The bank just getting them houses, and they're good to go. I'm trying to tell you, man, America is finished. They're basically just handing over homes to people just arrived yesterday who can't even speak English. Didn't fight in one war or their people. Not the Civil War, not the Revolutionary War, not the Vietnam War, not World War 1, 2, 3. Or it wasn't a 3, was it? You know what I mean? The Iraqi War. These people just coming in here from third world countries and get houses just like that. Making $1,000 a week just like that. We'll just leave that alone. So yeah, people are going to have to come to the grid. Sports is over, really. It's over. It ain't never going to go back to what it was. It's over. And the only thing that's going to keep the NBA afloat when this failure retires is what? And not only sports is over, everything's over. The Hollywood is over. Music is over. Movies, sitcoms, everything that was in the 90s, in the 80s, in the early 2000s, all those industries is over. The talent ain't there. They ain't make it. All that stuff's over, folks. You living in a community with people you know, it's over. Every time you look up, it's thousands and thousands of more people that just arrived yesterday in your damn town, in your city. Who are these people? You don't even recognize the place you once lived in. America is over, folks. I mean, sports is the least thing we got to worry about. The old America is over. They're trying to replace all the people that's been here for a long time. And I know this is a melting pot, and I don't mean to sound like a butthole, but to me, what they're doing don't make no sense. And what you think Trump is going to fix, he's not going to fix that, folks. He's not going to fix it. And they're bringing all these people in here and continue to put the economy more in debt. They told us, oh, you got to go to school for 12 years, do this and do that, and you can make some money. Nope, not these people that's coming in here. Nope. They didn't go to one day American school. They didn't pay no taxes. They didn't go to, their people didn't go to war. Their people didn't build this country. Their people didn't do nothing but come in here and be given all this stuff for the people that's struggled for all these years and did certain things all these years, and boom, they got a new house, $10,000 in the bank, nice car, making a whole bunch of money a week. I mean, this system really should be ashamed of itself, man. To me, school is a waste of time. When you got these people coming in here and just doing what they want and making all this money without going to school. And putting people in all this college debt. And these people are coming in here and can't even speak English. And have businesses and can't even speak English. This is crazy, man. But let's go back to fantasy world with LeBron James. And look, I'm gonna say this. I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying the way the system is really a lie, and we've been lied to. Because if I was them and I'm starving in another country, I'm coming right over here, baby. Trust me, I've been to other countries, third world countries, and guess what? I'm handing out money, giving people money, buying people food. Because I grew up poor. I was born in the projects. I only liked school because it was food in the damn school for breakfast and lunch. That's the only reason why I like school. In the summertime, we just starved. Maybe we ate one time a day, that's it. So I'm not hating on people that's coming over here, especially from third world countries, because I would do the same damn thing. But I'm just trying to tell you, America hasn't taken care of the people that's been here. The foundation of Americans, they're more invested in these people that they can make. And look at all the housing industry and the people give out money. They love this. They love to give out money to these people because it's just giving out money. Now they got to teach you about what? Credit. That's what really runs the world. Credit. So these people just come over here and get them credit up to like 720, 750, 800. They can get everything now. And they just got here. So I'm not hating. And I'm not trying to be mean, but that's just the way America is now. America don't give a damn about foundational Americans or the people that's been here, or the people that's been here. Don't act like all these people that came to this country or coming to this country don't have a war. Their people didn't fight in the War of Independence in their country. They didn't have a civil war. They don't have pride in their country. They don't have all this stuff. Okay then. So don't get mad at me when I bring up what my people did for this country. Because they can bring up what they people did for their country. So let's get back to this loser. Yeah, the NBA and pop culture in general is cooked, man. People got to realize the only thing that's going to keep the NBA alive when this loser retires is what? The steroid scandal. Yep, that's what kept baseball alive. This steroid scandal. That's the only thing kept baseball alive for a minute, was it steroid scandal. This, with LeBron James, this steroid scandal is going to be big, folks. And what I told you before is LeBron ain't going down without a fight. The LeBron and LeBron camp and the, what do you call them? The Unclutch Sports, they ain't going down without a fight. Trust me when I tell you, they ain't going down. They going to bring everybody with them. They going to bring everybody with them. And this thing is going to be big. Right? Probably going for about 3-4 years. Because the NBA is going to be done already. Nobody cares about... Nobody watches these players today. So that's the only thing that's going to keep the NBA alive, when LeBron retires. He brought his son in for a little gimmick or whatever like that. They call him an influencer. That's what Gilbert Arenas called this guy influencer. That's what he is. He's not a basketball player. The NBA is not a real sports league, folks. Not only that, they don't call carry, travel, all this stuff, folks. These aren't real refs. You thought these were real coaches? Stop, folks. These 80s and 90s coaches that played back then, some of them coached in the early 2000s. You really think these are real coaches, folks? They're not. They don't scream at players. They all coach the same offense. You think Bobby Knight could coach this? He'd be throwing chairs all over the place. 8 chairs a day. You think Papa's about to have a heart attack because he knows this ain't real NBA. He would never let a 7-foot guy sit there and launch up 3-pointers. That's what Wemby is. Why do you think he's having a heart attack? Coach Pop used to be the most, he used to be like a Bobby Knight or whatever like that. He used to be always pissed off. But he's dealing with this right now because I don't know why. He's supposed to have all this money, retire. There's no coaches. They're just keeping coaches to make it look like a real sport, a real league. All running the same offense. Pick and pop, pick and pop, pick and pop. It's over, folks. They had a chance to do it right. You had guys like, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Harden, Durant, Westbrook, these type of guys, and even more, to take this league to another stratosphere, to bring back up the ratings by being competitive and compete against each other. In Curry, in all these guys. But guess what? They decided to play with each other, folks. You can't make it up. They decided to play with each other. Not when they was old, when they was young. And before I get off of here, I'm sick of hearing people say Curry changed the league. No, he didn't. It was Curry and Clay sitting at the 3-point line. If you came for Clay, you're going to throw it to Curry. You came for Curry, you're going to throw it to Clay. That's it, folks. It wasn't 4 guys sitting at the 3-point line for Golden State. It was 2 guys shooting 40% plus, which is just nuts. That's like having 2 Michael Jordans or 2 Shaqs, or, you know what I'm saying, 2 Kobes, 2 Wilts. 2 guys shooting 40% plus. LeBron is the one that put 4 guys out on the 3-point line. You can track that back to Cleveland the first time. While he bull charged the lane, if you try to stop him, he was going to kick it out. Because that's the only skill the guy really had. The NBA is dead, folks. Now we're just waiting for the PED scandal. That's all we're waiting for, folks. The NBA is dead. These guys, to me, you can think what you want. They never made this kind of money. Nobody watches this crap. How could they make this kind of money? Like that baseball player they told you made. Come on, man. Nobody watches baseball. It's to get you to actually feel like it's warranted for you to spend this type of money at the games. So believe what you want. Like I said, when these guys retire, they'll still be podcasting. They got to get another job, put on makeup, go DJ, go do all this stuff after making tens of millions of dollars. Right? And we all dream about, making money like that and quitting our jobs. Well, folks, these guys got to go back to work. After making hundreds and 10 million, and LeBron still has to run the court, after making supposedly $1 billion. Folks, you got to wake up. Tell me what you think.